Mom, this video is for you if you have struggled with letting dad be dad, all right, with your teen. And also if you've struggled with letting dad have his parenting position, all right? Because, hey, I totally get it, because I had to do the same thing. I had to let dad be dad over my teenagers, and I had to let him have his parenting position. I had to do the same thing. So I totally understand. I understand the pain. I understand that maybe, you know what, you might even realize that that's what you're doing. But that could be something that it could be you. So just keep watching, okay, to find out if it is you. I'm Shauna Partlow, and I'm a teen relationship coach. And I help you, okay, connect with your teen so that you can talk about all issues with your teen. And you might be thinking, all right, Shauna, what does me letting dad be dad and giving him his parenting position, what does that have to do with me talking with my teen about issues? Well, believe it or not, it has a lot to do with talking with your teen about issues. And the reason why is because when there is no unity in the family, you're over here parenting one way, your husband, dad, whoever that might be, okay, whether you're married or not, it doesn't even matter. But when dad's over here and you're not letting him be dad, your teen is in the middle. And as what happens is, hey, if your teen can take advantage of that, being in the middle and working and using the parents against each other, oh yeah, you know what, for the most part, most teens will totally take advantage of that. So that's why it is so important, Mom, to let dad be dad. Okay, it's so important to let dad have his parenting position as well. Okay, not just you. All right. So I'm going to give you a little story, okay, about myself, because this was totally me, not letting dad be dad. I totally remember it very, very vividly and very clearly because, well, my honey had been gone over the road for, several years. So when he came back, he was ready to be dad. Okay, so we had teenagers at this time. And we were outside fighting. I was actually doing most of the yelling. I can remember that. And we were outside. I was standing on the porch and he was in the grass and I'm yelling at him because I'm mad, because he's not parenting and he's not doing these things and like I think he should be doing, and I'm just mad. And then when he finally says to me, finally gets a word inchwise and says, well, the problem is you don't let me be dad. I can remember even how I felt in my hands. I had my hands on my hips. Took that down. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't know what came over me, but I said, you're right. You're right. That is the problem. I'm not letting you be dad. So instantly, that hit me like a ton of bricks because as painful as it was, I had to admit that because, you know what, it was true. So I had nothing else to say because what he was saying was 100% true. And what was I going to do about it? Because I absolutely needed to change and do something different because, I wasn't letting him be dad, even though he wanted to be. He wanted to take his position as being, part the co-parenting with me. And I was not letting him. So if that sounds familiar to you, okay, hey, I just got to tell you, and as painful as that might be for you even, you're going to probably have to maybe do the same thing that I did, okay? And I'm going to give you a few things. This is then what I had to do, okay? And you might have to do the same thing. And one of those things was that I had to stop controlling the situation. And because I was so used to being both parents, I had to be dad when he was gone throughout the week, and I had to be mom because he was not there. So I had to improvise and be both, work as both roles. And I had to then let go of my control of, definitely the situation of parenting. Instead of being mad and angry because, well, you're not even parenting, you're not doing what I think you should be doing, and why aren't you saying anything? And then when he tried to become, say something and try to take his role as parenting in this position to be parenting, then I never let him. And I would get mad and because he wasn't doing it the way I thought he should be doing it. So that's one thing I had to do, was stop controlling the situation. The next thing I had to do was to stop disrespecting my honey. Okay. So that might have to be you as well. And even if it's not your honey, even if he's not your man, you might need to stop disrespecting him. Maybe you are divorced. Maybe you've never even been married, but maybe you have some co-parenting in there. You might need to stop even disrespecting him because he's still the dad, okay? And the fact that dad wants to be dad and you're not letting him, you're totally doing an injustice to your teenager for sure. And really a child at any age, okay? Because if the dad wants to be the dad and, he's not a scum-sucking pig loser, and he actually just wants to be the dad. Now, loser, okay, now because you might not want him to be parenting, all right, but he's a really good dad, you need to let him. And even though to you, oh yeah, he's a scum-sucking pig loser, Shauna, like, no way, why do I want him to be around my child? I don't want to be around my teenager. Well, but you know what? You need to really evaluate that, okay? And maybe sit down and talk with him, because that might make a difference. And even though you don't want to talk with him and you are mad and angry, even just that separation in itself, that actually affects your teenager as well, okay? And you don't have to be best friends, okay, to get along, but you definitely need to have something in order in there to be getting along, because your teen needs you to get along, because your teen needs his dad. All right, whether it's a girl or a guy, she needs their dad. All right, especially again if he wants to be part of their life and you're not letting him. So stop controlling the situation. And the next one is stop disrespecting your honey or disrespecting their dad. Okay, and then the third thing that I had to do, okay, and you might have to do the same thing, was to, oh my golly, let go of the past. Okay, and forgive him for whatever it is that maybe he has done that you're mad and angry about. Okay, so maybe you have to let go of he was not there. All right, that he said things that really made you mad. He wasn't parenting the way you thought he should. So you have to, you know what, you got to forgive, and you have to put those things behind you, put the past behind you, because sometimes, they're not that same person. Because hey, I don't know about you, but I know I'm not the same person as when my children were maybe younger, and then when they became teenagers, I wasn't the same person. And I learned a lot in my parenting. When I was parenting my teenagers, I learned a lot. So it's the same thing as dad, okay? We have to let them learn too, okay? Because it's not just us that needs to be parenting. And then, like I said, then we turn around and get mad because, well, where is he? Why isn't he doing his thing? And why isn't he standing up and parenting like he should be? Well, because maybe you're not letting him. So that's what you have to be thinking about, all right? And you definitely just have to let him, parent the way he needs to as a man. And kind of, you know what? I'm not saying turn a blind eye, but sometimes you have to just zippy the lippy and let him do what he needs to do as his position in his parenting, okay? So, hey, if this has given you any value, you can hit like and subscribe, all right? Because there's definitely going to be a lot more videos to come, and there's some for you to even check out, definitely, all right, in this parenting, in my parenting your teens. And, but you need to really just let dad be dad, okay? Let the man be the man in the relationship, and let him take his position, take his role, and actually, if he's in your home, let him lead your family, okay? Because we get mad and angry because he's not doing anything, he's not leading, but a lot of the times, especially like in my case, my honey wasn't leading because I was busy leading. I was not letting him be the leader, okay? We both can't be having that struggle here in the sense of like, you can't lead because I want to lead. Well, then, I want to do the one. I want to be the one. I want to be the one having that authority. I want to be the one, with the thing that has to be said the most, to where we get that power struggle within ourselves. And a lot of times the woman tends to suppress the guy because we are so controlling and we want our way, and we are just demanding and controlling. And hey, sometimes we he's going to have hell to pay, right? Because he's not doing things the way we want it to be done. And then we wonder why he has been so stepped back and he's so like becomes, this kind of man. He doesn't step up. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't take his place. And a lot of the times it's because we, as the female, the mom in the position and in the role, we have taken the manhood out of the man. And then we're mad because he's not being a man. So we're confusing ourselves, aren't we? Yeah, we are. So I guess you got to decide what it is that you want. Do you want your man to be a man and step it up and do man things? And part of those man things is him, parenting and disciplining and talking with your teenager. And your teenager is both of your teenagers, okay? So are you letting him do that and take his place? And it doesn't mean that you can't have a conversation together, and give some input. It doesn't mean that, but it definitely means that, let him. He needs to take his place. And your son needs to become a man by following his dad. And your daughter, she needs to see what a real man looks like, okay? And when we are taking the manhood out of the man, you know what? We actually, sometimes it's us to blame. The mom, the wife, the woman in the situation, because, hey, that was me. I was to blame. Part of that, then it becomes where I had to take responsibility and be like, wow, okay, all right, I guess I need to step back and really just shut up already. So it's painful. It was painful. I got to tell you, it was extremely painful. But I'm so thankful that I did do that, because it made a difference in, even just in my marriage. It totally did. It made a difference in that. It made a difference with my teenagers, because I stepped back, let dad be dad, and let him take his parenting position, and just step back. But they were used to coming to me, so then I would just say, hey, well, what did your dad say? You got to listen to what your dad said. That's what I had to start saying. And that changed the position in what was going on in my home. Our fighting, got less, because I let go of the control and the disrespect, because I was very disrespectful, because it was to the point where it was like, no, you only got to listen to me, and hey, that was just disrespectful. And so with my letting go of the past, that was the last thing that I had to do, and forgive, okay? Because, hey, that right there is huge. Because if you do not forgive the things that they have done that maybe ticked you up, hey, some of it, they may not even know that they've done anything, and that you're not forgiving them for something. So either you need to have a conversation with him, or you just flat out need to just let it go. Like, wow, you know what? That was really dumb, and I don't even know why I'm even mad at that, because that really is just doesn't even pertain to anything anymore. So I totally need to let it go. So that might be what you need to be thinking, okay? And doing, not just thinking about it, but actually doing it. So those 3 things that I had to do, and that you might need to do, mom, okay, in order to bring the unity within your home, in order to let dad be dad, and in order to let dad have his parenting position, okay, as painful as it may be, all right? So one thing you need to do, stop controlling the situation. The second thing, stop disrespecting your man or your honey or just the dad, period. And then the third one is to let go of the past and forgive, so that you can have a better future, okay? So that your teen can see really what the different roles are for the mom and for the dad. Because, hey, you know what? They might be parents someday, right? So they are getting their parenting skills from the way you are parenting, and especially when they see you let go of that control and they see you take your position. And now I'm not saying to bow down, okay? Like, okay, well, I'll just, be that little woman that doesn't say anything either. No, I'm not saying that either, okay? You are equal, okay? Men and women are created equal. All right. But you still got to let dad be dad. All right. Mom needs to be mom and dad needs to be dad. All right. So we're parenting together, and you're bringing unity within the family, because that is what matters, is bringing unity within your family when you have your teenagers. Okay. Because That's what you want. And you want to be that example because you are. Regardless of what you're doing, okay, you're still an example. Whether your parenting sucks or whether like it doesn't, okay? And you're really, striving and working at making things better, all right? Regardless of where you are in that, you're still the example of who your teens will become as, when they become that parenting position, okay? So, just some things to think about, Mom, okay? Totally some things to think about. I know it's painful. I had to do the same thing. But you know what? Hey, I got to tell you, I do not regret letting my honey take his position. I do not regret letting him dad be dad. And I don't think you'll regret that either. But you know what? You can let me know in that chat. You can let me know through social media, however you want to contact me, okay? And I think that's all I want to say about that right now. But I do want to say, if you have not subscribed, please do, because you still can, all right? I'm definitely going to be bringing more videos, and you can hit that like button. You can share this video, and I want to say thanks for watching. And I'll definitely see you in the next video.